Hey guys, so today I'm going to do a resin tutorial on how to make this awesome envelope. So let's get started. So first you're going to need some resin. I use the Easy Cast resin by Casting Craft. All you have to do is mix them in equal parts. I use these cups that are already pre-measured, so I don't need any extra materials, and once the resin dries I can just peel it off from the cup. Once you've added in both parts of the resin, you're going to start mixing them together. You're going to notice you'll get like little ribbons within the resin. That just means they're mixing together. Once it's completely clear, then you know the mix is ready. So depending on what resin you use, you're probably going to get a lot of air bubbles like this. But don't worry about that, that's something that can be fixed later on. Once I'm done mixing my resin, I like to split it up into different cups, especially if I'm going to be coloring the resin. I'm going to be using the Casting Craft pigments because they work great with resin, especially since they're made for resin and made by the same company. But you're welcome to try other types of pigments and paints and kind of experiment with how they work out for you. The resin absorbs the pigments really quickly and it just creates a really nice color. So I'm going to start with the first part of the resin piece. The mold I use from Cat's Perfect isn't even at the bottom, so you need to find something that will be able to hold it up. The first thing I'm going to be doing is adding some red resin to the heart on the envelope. I recommend doing this with a pencil or a needle tool. I use a needle tool because the resin comes right off and it's kind of difficult to do this with a popsicle stick just because you want it to be really precise. So if you still have lots of air bubbles, what I recommend is taking a long nose lighter and just gently moving it around the resin until the bubbles pop. You want to be very careful when using plastic molds because they can melt if you leave the lighter on too long. So make sure you don't leave it at the same spot. Next, you're going to add white pigment to resin in order to get the white envelope color. Something I want to add is that you need to wait at least 20 to 30 minutes for the red resin to cure. If you don't do that, it's just going to mix together and it's going to be really messy and it's just going to completely mess up your piece. So do make sure that you wait at least 20 to 30 minutes before you add the white resin. And if you have air bubbles with the white resin, you can do the same exact thing with the lighter, and it'll take away any air bubbles that you have. So my resin takes about 8 hours to cure, and to me this is the fun part, popping out of your molds to see how it looks. So it just comes out pretty easy, and then this is how it looks. So to make this perfect, the one thing I like to do is I like to dome the back to make it just as smooth and shiny on the back as it is on the front. To do this, I just place my piece on some popsicle sticks in order for them to balance properly. And then just add some white resin to the very back of it. Again, remove any air bubbles and allow the piece to dry. Once it's ready, it should look like this, super shiny on the back and perfect on the front. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this resin tutorial. Let me know if you guys would like to see more of these, and I'll see you guys next time.